why don't you introduce our special guest?
We have a few special guests joining us today, but we have the crew from the Dragonpunk role-playing server, and they are going to be showing us around their live server that they have, which is, if you remember a few weeks ago, we did a section with Twitch RP. We walked around their role-playing server. So this is a different role-playing server that uses a lot of the ARK sponsored mods on their server, and we're going to show off a really cool map as well. So hi guys.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
So we
It's
have
good to have you guys with us.
we have Dan, who's the kind of in charge of the Dragonpunk mod, and we have Archie as well with us. He's the server tech and producer, I think. Do you want to kind of introduce yourself, guys?
Yeah, thank you again. I'm Dan Connery, the creative director and the kind of lead development lead. We have Archie with us, who is the server lead and server guru. And we have Iron Bandit with us this week, who's essentially the community lead and head Dragoncito. Unfortunately, Kari could not be here, who's the live ops producer, because she's on a well-deserved vacation, but she has been working 4 months at 21 hours per day, 7 days a week to get this up and running. So we're all very proud of this and she's job. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Iron Bandit to show you around and highlight some of the really great sponsored mods that's all working together.
Hello, everybody. Good day. What would you guys like to go? Would you like to see first how our basically how our PvP overhaul works, or kind of a little idea of how it works?
Sure, that sounds great.
Now this
Okay,
is this is a live server, right? There's people actually playing on this right now.
Yes,
Yeah, I see
as you
them.
can see, you see the running around and playing and all that stuff. They got all different people. They come in here, and basically this is the auction house location, and they come by to spend their coin that they've collected over by hunting, selling, or just even simple trading. The big thing about the PvP overhaul is that when players are going out on their because the server is on vanilla settings, and so the grind when you first start out is it can be a little bit rough, but after you kill some beasts and or trade things with other players, you can accumulate some coin, and by coming to the auction house, it helps balance that grind out to make it a enjoyable experience and allows the interaction with other players in the RP.
Awesome. Sounds really cool. So let's take a look.
So if you look behind you, Chris, there is the this pin that we set up just for reference today, and in there's a couple of the promoted dinos. The Allosaurus is promoted to a Mastercraft level, and what that means is that basically there's different tiers from as like blueprints from the common all the way up to the ascendant, and depending on the creature of what you set it to, like the class, they'll promote. And this basically is a representation of a miniature boss battle. What would happen is that like the pack of Allosaurus would promote, and they basically are their HP, their melee damage, everything goes up to make it like a miniature boss battle. And as you can see, there's embers basically telling you what kind of promotion this is. As a player on the server, this is a Mastercraft Allosaurus, and that would be just a mean bleeding damage creature to fight. So I would need to bring a small army to take down this creature.
Oh boy, that's crazy.
But the reward is definitely.
Is that why I hear the battle music?
Yes. They're just angry at us. But so after defeating that beast, I'll get a reward of some hide, and it would be the level. So this would come out Mastercraft hide. In return, I would use the Dragonpunk crafting table to make the Ascendant or the, in this case, Mastercraft version of either weapons, armor, or saddles to use in battles or just to have.
Fancy. That's really cool that it adds different tiers like that.
If you come over here, Archie set up another pin to show off the journeyman, and hopefully Ramshackle will promote here in a minute.
Hello, little guys.
So,
I like the particles. Those are neat.
Yeah.
There's particles, there's smoke, and I believe later on, hopefully there may be an eye iteration so that it's just distinctible by their eyes.
Ooh.
So this is really cool. I don't know if I can do another thing I want to try out here is try to get that T-Rex to basically start a immersive battle. Obviously, we're not going to fight it because we don't have anything, but are you guys familiar with the immersive taming mod?
Yeah, we've actually talked a little bit about that mod on our stream before.
Okay. Let's see if I can get him angry.
And we're really grateful to the modder Impulse because we've developed our PvE overhaul mod based on his Dino Loot mod. And we've been working with a lot of the community, a lot of the sponsored modders to make it compatible and build other mods on top of mods. Now, with this immersive taming mod, that's Burgess's mod. And we've been working very close with him to make sure our PvE overhaul mod is fully compatible with his immersive taming. And together, they really represent just a complete overhaul of PvP and making it far more immersive.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah, as you can see right now, that T-Rex, that female, level 201, she basically upgraded, and that would be amazing. It's basically battle it and try to win her love.
That's super cool.
Okay, so I'll take you over to the auction house now so we get out of this music and kind of all the other players.
They just want to hang out.
Yeah.
This is some building you got here.
Oh yeah, so Dragon is the person that she basically made this so that yeah, I can't even explain how beautiful all her other auction houses that I've seen thus far are on the different maps, but this is Dragon's creation, and she is the designer of these auction houses. But in here it has the auction house mod, it has the capitalism mods, and it basically has a community area for crafting and just a nice place to hang out and do some RP. So basically, I'm going to drop this for you, Chris. These are the coin.
Okay. Do you have wares if I have coin?
What?
I said, do you have wares if I have coin? Never mind. Never mind.
The Khajiit has wares. So, on that note, this is certainly inspired a lot by Final Fantasy XIV, Elder Scrolls Online, the community center and auction house. A lot of the auction house was normally intended to be player built, but we wanted to go ahead and design this to be an MMO light experience. So you're going to see a lot of the common elements that you're going to see in MMOs, and that's really been the goal, is to just completely redefine the gaming experience.
Okay, cool. So what do I do with this coin now?
Okay, so over here, let's go. I have a creature that somebody wanted to sell and show off. So if you go up to this monkey and access him, there should be an Argentavis available for sale.
Browse?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Arch. It didn't work with the search. Let's see. Go to the next page.
Well, I guess I don't see the
it.
auction house. Why don't you buy that level 81 rock drake? This is kind of cool.
All right. Buy now. All right. Where do I get it from?
So now you come over here after you purchase something. You come to these little monkey guys, and basically interact with it, and it'll ask you to accept your bid off or accept your auction.
So claim.
Yes. And now, now you'll press F. All right. Nope, the rock drake's behind you.
Oh, there he is.
Yep. So this is a great thing about the auction house is basically players from other maps. A major point of this cluster is that the servers are on 5 maps: the Island, Aberration, Anza, Amissa, and Crystal Isles. Amongst these maps, the resources and creatures are basically unique to their maps, and that's why we have the economy system set up for the auction house. So it encourages players to request different creatures to buy or resources because they're limited maybe on that map, and so that allows a economy to flourish with the auction house and or the capitalism mod.
Awesome. Yeah, we explored this stuff on the stream I think a couple of weeks ago, but it's great to see how you've implemented it across, your servers.
Yeah, like a practical
Yeah,
usage where you have a whole community that can trade and have like this huge communal area. That's really neat seeing it in practice.
Yes, so that's one of the awesome things. Another awesome thing is that we every weekend we have a storyline event. There's been a story that's been crafted up by the Dragonpunk team, and every weekend we try to do a event where it progresses the story to the players. And basically the storyline is about corruption, and corruption is coming over and taking over the arcs. And the players decide on how they interact with the different events, and depending on the players' actions, it can determine the story, and they get immortalized into the Dragonpunk lore.
that's super cool.
So when you start out with the server, the Dragonpunk lore.
Okay, so
yeah. So tell us a bit about like what makes your server kind of like special as the Dragonpunk server. So you have this lore, right? If you want to elaborate a little bit on that.
okay, so yes, what makes our server special is that it's not the normal PvP. It's not your normal PvP or your PvE server because we have the RP aspect into it. Players, it's free to everybody, but the only thing they need to do is go over to the Discord and put an entry just to say their background story. All players have a different background story, and they all kind of just merge into these arcs. And the first weekend, we got a message from Sergeant Nuada that he's been forming an army to help defeat the corruption, and the corruption is spreading on Anza, and so he bred this army to defeat the corruption, and we went over there to battle. And once we battled the corruption, he actually got infected with corruption, and which was last weekend's event, and we had to basically do puzzles of different clues that have been set up throughout the maps. It's very eventful, which definitely I believe sets apart the regular just playing on PvE servers or PvP servers.
And we're unlocking different aspects about every week. They've just unlocked this map. Or sorry, they unlocked this map on starting. They just unlocked Anza. They'll be unlocking Crystal Isle soon. Then the Magic mod. Then the Leviathan, the highly anticipated Leviathan mod, with both the saddle and the city. And we actually purposely haven't been showing any screenshots of that because it's pretty impressive. It's going to be in our new trailer coming up. And once that releases, you'll be able to see all the aspects. And there's practical reasons for that as well. From a systems engineering perspective and a game balance perspective, we want to make sure everything is fine-tuned for the sponsored mods that are running at that time. So instead of having all 27 sponsored mods, we want to introduce them essentially 1 week at a time, make sure they're balanced, make sure players are having fun, and then continue to progress the storyline by introducing more mods.
So let me ask you this. How do players unlock these new features?
Do we have another area we can go to as well while we talk about this?
Yeah, let's go inside the auction house.
Yeah.
Follow me.
And we also have Wyvern spawn, so if you want to jump on them after you look at the auction house and make some player builds, we can do that as well.
So Dan, how do play your players unlock these new features and new sections of the Dragonpunk game?
Well, in everything here is player driven. The story is player driven, and that's really one of our goals. Is not just to make a standard MMO where you're going through quests and you're essentially on a tour through the world. We want it to be player driven. So going back to what Iron said about those weekend events, they have been taking them in very unexpected ways. We had a dragon, so we had Zomak the dragon who was awakened to help fight the corruption, and the players were supposed to run away from him, but they stayed at their own peril and to prove that they were willing to fight the corruption, even though he was going to purge them with dragonfire. And we have completely rewritten it and unlocked a different path for events based on those player stories. And that's one of the things we're really proud of. Whether this is scalable to millions of players, I don't know, but we're having fun now being able to craft on the fly different stories based on the player actions.
That's super cool. So it's ever evolving, basically.
It is ever evolving. We have a general framework. Like, the next thing we want to do is go ahead and have players unlock Crystal Isles and get over there. But the time frame and the manner in which they do it is going to be completely up to them.
That's so cool. I don't think I've ever heard of a server that kind of had like this progression that the players had to unlock these certain elements. Like I've seen servers that have community events and storylines and stuff like that, but the unlocking stuff is really original.
Thank you. And that's all what Kadi's been doing. Again, Kadi has been working just incredible hours. I didn't think it was humanly possible. Like, we all work hard, and Kadi has just been putting in just a team's worth of work, and a lot of this progression and the storyline and the plot is all thanks to her.
So neat.
That's super cool. All right, I'm gonna come back downstairs and we'll go jump on the Wyvern.
I'll check out this this tavern that one of our players have made, and basically
Oh yeah, and yes, this is free to join. You do have to create a character backstory. You don't have to be the best role player. We're just trying to introduce things, and as long as you're passionate about it, we're happy to welcome you.
So how do people find you?
Discord and Twitter is usually the best. Dragonpunk game on Twitter, and we can post a Discord invite there. But we run everything, including offline role playing, through our Discord. We have 120 active players right now, spanning over 5 maps. We can probably support about 250, and this is all thanks to the generous sponsorship of Nitrato.
Nice. All right, I'm jumping into spectator. Jen, do you want to jump on a Wyvern and?
Yes. So these are the crystal wyverns. Fancy color. I like this one. Tropical.
Oh yeah, so I know someone in the chat here said something about the clothes. We are using the wardrobe mod. We're honestly, if it was up to me, we would be using 100 mods, and I love them all. But we have to be very, very selective based on people's loading time. But I would love to see like 100, 200 mods, see all the content, because everybody who's modding for ARK just makes sure that it's quality. And I'm really impressed by the entire community.
Awesome. So what map are we on right now?
we are on Amissa right now.
We talked a little bit about Amissa last week, which I missed, unfortunately, because I wasn't here, but...
We're going to be going to the coordinates of 70 by 70. That's where
70 by 70, okay.
But yeah, the Missa is this. I've only got to experience the Missa just recently, and I am amazed by the floating rocks, the beautiful nighttime sky. I just find that just really beautiful. A lot of our players come here for the different creatures, especially the wyverns. We're on Crystal Wyverns right now, but that will be special to the Crystal Isles map. and like I said earlier, the creatures basically they're going to be unique to each map, and so basically other players, it makes an incentive for other players to go get them and then sell them on the auction house for coin, because like earlier, say basically I wanted to buy a bunch of metal ignot or metal stone, I go to the auction house to get it if I don't want to take the time to grind it all out.
Oh boy, it's getting foggy.
And actually, to build on what Iron said a bit, instead of coding, specialty classes, what we've done is made sure that the entire economy is incredibly balanced with the resources on the map, that it encourages players. So on Aberration, there is a lot of ore, whereas we've limited the spawning ability of element ore on the other maps. So Aberration players specialize in mining element ore, and we've done that with each. So there's essentially inherent specialties for player classes in each map.
Very cool.
You spent an awful lot of time, by the sounds of it, planning all of this stuff. Is crazy.
Well, again, that's thanks to Kadi, but again, we definitely wanted to make this an MMO-like experience. Essentially, anything you could think of from an MMO, we try to achieve, and it may not be full, and we were still modders, but we're pretty proud. We're pretty proud of what we've been able to do by collaborating with the rest of the ARK sponsored mod teams.
That's super cool to hear. Are we at 70 now, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to find you guys. It's like, are you in the desert?
Yeah.
Yep, there you are.
Oh, okay, I see you. Let me
still
turn around.
I don't see you guys.
Wait.
Oh, there you are.
Gotcha.
And so, to elaborate just a little bit more again on the player-driven stories, what we want is to create Dragonpunk lore and literally immortalize the players. When we all came together and wanted to make an official Dragonpunk game, we're like, okay, let's write the backstory. And we came up with these like fantasy words and fantasy names, and they didn't really mean anything. And then we had heard about the ARK-sponsored mod program. This was April of 2017. So we talked to Jad, we talked to Doug Kennedy. In fact, he was great, very supportive. And we said we want to create a mod series in which players' actions are immortalized in lore, and that's actually the lore in the reference books we see in our actual game, Dragonpunk Cloud. So when they open, instead of opening a book like the Lusty Argonian Maid, they open a book, and it's literally their player and their actions in the lore in the game.
Oh, nice.
So cool. That's how you really get people immersed, is like feeling that their actions have meaning and like they have an impact on the world, I think. That's really cool.
Every player does, and that's an awesome thing about the servers and the storyline. Again, players can decide how they really want to take this corruption on. Do they be noble and they defend it? Do they accept it, or do they just run and flee because it's not in their character to fight?
Yeah, that's really cool.
If Jen, you want to come down? Oh, you're right here.
Yeah, I'm here. So this is a boat.
Yes, so this is the Fjord's Tavern. I think. It's basically a crashed ship on the side of a cliff. So not that. I think that is his personal boat that he might have got stuck. I'm not sure, but if you come up here, he has a very decorative way of introducing you to his bar.
Oh wow, this is cool.
Oh, it has a little sign, it says pub.
Oh, it has
right
cells
now,
at the top.
Oh wow. These fish signs. Those are so cute.
Yeah, that's from Eco's mod. She definitely has been making really awesome decor.
This is super cool.
Yeah, the players been on Misa. This has been this bar just recently been open over the weekend, and now this is a hot spot for the players to come relax after their journeys or fights and stuff like that, and a really good area for players to have an RP moment and just kind of enjoy talking to other players.
Man, I love this. This is so cool.
So creative.
Oh, there's a dragon head at the back. Oh no, that's the front, I guess.
So the pieces of the boat, is that a mod?
So the pieces of the boat are the castle and keep structure. That mod is still, it's quite amazing what you can do with the mod because of the pieces. And as you can see, he's built this boat, and it looks like a boat, but actually it's just your normal structure of pillars, walls, ceilings. It looks like he used some of the eco mod or the advanced ship mod to do the railings, the lighting, the decorations, all done by Eco's mods. I can't see. I see S plus the like the beer barrels and the water. But yeah, this is just this is what a player did over the weekend, and now it's a hot spot for just the people coming by and shooting the evening off with each other.
So cool. Are you getting a nice screenshot of us, Chris?
People can yeah, this is going to be a really good place for doing like videos and stuff. And
just realized my character's bald. Whoops.
You have a little bit there. Yeah, this is so cool. Really cool.
Yeah, and we have a community area where we capture the stories, RP stories, screen capture, videos as well. This player made probably the most incredible castle I've ever seen on Aberration. And those screenshots are all up in Discord, and everybody shares them as well. One final thing I had mentioned that we're going to be unlocking at the very end is we have a new mini map, which we'd like to certainly make to a full map, but it's called Tir na Nog, and players are going to unlock Crystal Isle soon, and at the very end they'll be unlocking Tir na Nog because this is based on the lore of the Tua de Danann. So First Sergeant Noada and Danu, all from the Celtic lore of the Tua de Danann, which actually means tribe of Danu. So if you follow us on Twitter at all, you can see some pictures of ISO building the Tir na Nog, and it's all in the clouds. Everything is in the clouds with the Leviathan. It's all aerial-based, aerial mechanics, etc. And that's where we're going to have most of Season 3. So in Season 3, you won't even be playing an ARK. You'll be a Fomorian creature or human playing in Tir na Nog, and then so on and so forth. In Season 4, we have the cyberpunk city that we're introducing. So it progresses. We'd like to leverage all the maps, certainly, but always be pushing and progressing the storyline.
Oh, we have a fireworks show outside.
Grand opening. I think that's it on the players' builds that I know of people that wanted to show off their buildings. I mean, there's some other ones in the floating islands if we want to fly over there.
Yeah, those floating islands were very cool. I think I might have to cheat and fly over to my wyvern.
Yeah, this is a super cool build you've got here.
We're incredibly grateful for all the ARK sponsored mods. It's some of these have been in development for years now, and then trying to get them to be compatible with each other and get everyone to collaborate, but you don't have to be too pushy about it, is a task in and of itself. But everybody just has really come together as a community. It's probably one of the best communities I've ever been in from a modding perspective.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to go look at the floating islands.
Yes.
I'm going to try to follow you. I'm probably gonna get lost.
Oh, I'm to your left side. These crystal wyverns are quite fast.
They're so fast. I have my render distance a little low, so I can play properly while also streaming and also having 2 chat programs open. So it's also foggy. Oh no.
Yeah.
We're in the clouds.
Oh, that's why.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
there's
saw
some-
some of this when we checked out this
Ooh.
mod. I mean this map. But yeah, this is stuff that people have actually built up here, right?
Yep. So there's this little. It looks like a little cliff shack over here.
That's cool. It's like a
I'm
hobbit
tier
house.
6.
That's so cool. It looks like a hobbit
So-
house.
Yeah, just on a cliff edge, and I love the floating rocks there, just kind of magically floating. Let's see if there's
I
anything
believe
else.
this is the tribe of the Dragon Riders Abyss, and they recently split into the Black Moon tribe. And again, all of that is documented by us and put into lore. And if we ever get to make our own full video game, that's the backstory. They will be reading about themselves in the lore of Dragonpunk, and then it's
Wow.
going to be documented on the website and everything else. So
That little shoe rack on stream.
I know,
is so
right?
Cute.
All right. There's another place that I'd like to show off. It's at 5045.
5045.
This guy, this person's base is the one that you saw, that pretty black and orange Argentavis. So he's seems like he's a farmer and a breed master, or like a breeding dino person. Does that make sense?
Breeding dino person.
Yeah, I know that's a really terrible explanation, but I don't really know what else to call it. Okay, he said he's on the edge.
Does that mean he's on the top of the cliff?
I would assume an edge of a cliff.
Oh, I think I went too far. $50. Okay, I'm pretty. I think I'm in the right spot.
You see a little like barn shack?
Oh, that must be it there, maybe. Oh, that doesn't look like a barn. Maybe not.
No, that's not it.
So one of the challenges of trying to make ARK really an MMO is that there's so much versatility and so many ways of player progression that it's hard to try to sit there and path every which way you can level up, and that's one of the things that's taken so long, and it's taken really 6 months of game balancing, is to essentially create and reproduce and make sure everything is balanced for whether you want to be a breeder or a hunter or a builder or gathering, and make sure that's all balanced so nobody feels that they're ignored. Or
All right, I found him. Would you like me to TP you two over here?
Yeah, it might be. You could just TP me. Chris is in spectator mode. Those mushrooms down there are neat.
Yeah, this is a really cool map.
And if you've ever been on this map at night, it just gets better. They have a Borealis that just is amazing. This is probably, and everyone knows I'm in love with Crystal Isles, but as far as the nighttime, this is probably the best ARK map that there is regarding nighttime and how beautiful it is.
Yeah, we showed it off on our stream. It looked so cool.
So this
We
player,
made it.
This player is into the breeding, and as you can see, he loves the Argentavises out of it all. And he's been coming out with some beautiful Argentavises. And after he's done with these, and he's done with what ones he doesn't want to have, he puts them on the market for other players to buy. And that's definitely
your in-game auction house, right?
Yes. So if a player doesn't have so I'm from the aberration map. I don't have flyer creatures. And when I come to the island or to Anza or Amissa, having a flyer creature is almost essential when playing ARK. And so I bought an Argentavis off of him, and it helps him out. It helps me out after I get some coin.
Yeah, it's great.
The biggest thing is getting the coin, and players can either be a gatherer and say they gathered hundreds of wood. They go to the store or the auction place, and then they sell it, and then now they have money to afford a creature like, say, a beaver, to gather more wood, because that's what they do.
Right. So they build up and build up.
Yeah. Whereas Iron actually, Iron, we did not intend this to happen. We were giving away top level Rexes in an event, and so Iron won one. And then his tribe mate won a female. And so what they've been doing is breeding top-level T-Rexes, making money that way, and also using hunt. So when you're playing from that perspective, there's essentially no gathering grind whatsoever. Again, these are all completely ARK vanilla rates, but there are so many balanced paths in which to gather coin and play, you might not have to gather at all.
Awesome.
Just depends on what you choose. It's all up to the player. That's the biggest thing I would say that the Dragonpunk server does have. It's all up to the player. We guide them in a direction, and then they decide what to do.
Super cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for showing us around.
Thank you.
It's been really cool trying to understanding more about the mod and the backstory elements that you've put into it with the MMO style stuff. It's so cool, and you guys should definitely go check it out. What's the website?
So we can go to dragonpunk.com or tribeofgods.com. But again, Twitter's probably the best. We're very active on Twitter, and we have Discord invites on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc.
Awesome. So cool. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you again, hopefully.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.